Hello, my name is Jonathan Baggs, and this is the King's Academy Roundtable. The next step after high school is to attend a college or university. With this in mind, how do you as parents feel your child is being prepared for college, spiritually, academically, and socially?
And then academically, I know even my own children are telling me things that they're learning outside of in other classes that they'll talk to their friends that are still in public school and they're like, oh, we didn't know that. We didn't learn that. Where did that come from? So I think academically but I think they're getting a superior education to public school. And then let's add in the spiritual part of it. I think that just makes them very well rounded. All of that is being taken out of public school. We're keeping it in, and we're focused around that, and I think that's a good thing.
There's a push, I think, in the school for teachers to communicate with parents, and parents want to communicate with teachers. So there's a lot of interplay there, and it's good to have the camaraderie, the partnership feel on education.
When my oldest started here last year, she started 8th grade. The year before, she had been good in math, and that 7th grade year, she had a rough time. And then part of it, she was in a class with 30 students, which is hard. So, if you get lost a little bit, it's hard to catch up. The teacher didn't have time, but the teacher also didn't want to take time. And I can honestly say here, I don't care how busy the teachers are, they will definitely stop and take the time. But I'm mainly talking about math in this one. So yes, it's going to be Miss Belay, who, if anybody's watching, she is the math teacher. She did wonders with Jordan. Just gave her back her confidence in math. When she would struggle, she would stop and work with her. She would let us know. And that was one of the things that wasn't happening in public school. If they were struggling, they weren't necessarily telling you. Now, I don't know if it's because she just didn't want to do it or there was too many students. But Miss Belay would send an email and pull me aside and say, hey, have her work a little bit extra on this, or she would have them do that in class. And she got her up to where she ended up coming out with a B. And she barely passed the year before. I mean, she came out with a 71. I mean, she squeaked by. And it just gave her a lot more confidence in the math and know that, hey, I can do this, and that the teacher cares. I'm not just a number we're shuffling through. So.
But another element that I think Alex has thoroughly enjoyed is the friendships. I asked him last night, I told him I was going to be on the video, and I asked him, what do you like about King's? And he said, we are a family. And I remember him telling me the other thing that he came home with after that first day of class. He was so impressed with how welcoming the student body was. And he was a 9th grader and immediately bonded with the kids, and even 12th graders, 11th graders, 10th graders, all tend to be supportive of each other.
And I'm not saying that everybody it's kumbaya and everybody loves each other, but you don't have all of the drama. That was what came out of their mouth, out of girls' mouth. There's no drama, and
That's
everybody, yes, everybody still speaks. You may not be the best of friends, but no one's rude, no one's mean. You speak, and my children, I would say, have more of a social life here now in this small school. There's always something going on.
But you talk about the spiritual aspect of the school. Even in those disagreements, you're going to have teachers that recognize that, and they're not going to just say, be quiet. They're going to call on that kid to say, where's your heart in this?
Yes.
How are you reflecting Christ here? We're calling on kids to be Christ-like.
Yes.
From a spiritual standpoint, that's and the thing that impresses me about King's from a Bible standpoint is that, I mean, what other high school are you going to have worldview classes? Overview of Old Testament, all those kinds of things that you have that are training kids how to think biblically, how to think Christianly. And when they go into a college environment, they're going to have these principles already with them.
Jesus said in Matthew 28, "Therefore go and make disciples." Here at King's Academy, we are focused on making every student a disciple. With this in mind, how do you as parents feel your child is growing spiritually with a strong foundation on Jesus Christ?
When you have a school that is built around discipleship and it produces kids that are concerned with making much of Jesus, that's a good thing. You want to have that. And we've enjoyed seeing that and look forward to the other two going through those kinds of studies as well.
Times have changed so much, and I think in our world today, it is such a blessing and a freedom that we have and that we can exercise to bring our kids into a Christian school setting. And one here where it's a combination of the structured school setting and homeschooling, so to speak. I just think it's a real neat opportunity.
Cord, my youngest, we just found out he fractured his ankle, and so Crew, just second grade, he already said, we were in the car, and so we had talked about anytime he thought about Cord, he was going to pray for him, and he said, you know what, Mommy, I'm going to put him on our prayer request list when I get in. And that was right before I dropped him off, and I thought, wow, how awesome that here he is going to school, and before he gets out of the car, he gets to go, he's already thinking to tell his teacher to put him on that prayer list. So that just meant more to me this week. That was just a very neat blessing that this school is doing exactly what, we want it to do in their lives. So that was very touching from that part.
Why do you agree that King's Academy is a calling rather than just an educational model?
I think God is calling us is that we build that relationship as a family, that we are that support network, and then we have a community that's supporting us as well. And I think building relationships within our family, with mom and dad and each other, and those mentoring relationships outside.
Each topic points to Christ. Everything is based upon Scripture. It gives you a great opportunity to launch into conversations with your kids about God's order, God's plan. I know that for the teachers it has to be a calling, because I see so much work that they put into planning history trips that are going on that have been months in the making. The teachers are driven because they feel the calling, and that's infectious to the parent as well, to be involved and to partner in that. So.
Well, I just think it's the best of both worlds. I absolutely love that my kids are getting that school experience, raised in the Christian environment, being discipled, especially as we've got 3 boys and we are trying to grow up those strong, godly leaders, and to be able to have that with the school, but with our time at home. And like you said, even starting, with the lower grades, everything's got the scripture, the stories that we're reading, just kind of all that foundation. But I think just with what I try to share with friends is this is just perfect. It is literally the best of both worlds, and my relationship with my son has grown.
This last section is for the parents to share something that they want you to know about King's Academy. My name is Jonathan Baggs, and thank you for joining us.
So we have the neat dynamic of Dad gets to do school with my kids on Friday, so we get a complete whole. They get to go do breakfast with Dad or go do lunch, and those are experiences that they would never have had before. And likewise for him, because he's involved in their education, because he has to know, okay, what are we doing? Because he's responsible for it on Fridays. Experience school becomes family time where it wasn't before, but it wouldn't be in a 5-day private or public school.
Right.
So you are not going to get any better teachers. Like I said, I can't wait to go up, but as far as the lower campus, you will not find any better teachers. Also the curriculum, I have been so impressed, because if they are right on, they will let them do that, or if you need to move them up. And if we needed something extra to work on, they're going to communicate with me, let me know, and it's just so hands-on that I feel like in certain situations we would have maybe been lost in public school, but I know exactly what we're going to work on, and then just reinforcing that, has been fabulous.
The flexibility is so nice,
Okay.
because he can take that kind of a break and get back into it mentally when perhaps at school he couldn't do that. He'll just need a little quick break and he'll jump on his bike and ride down the street and back. Or he'll take the dog for a run down the street and back.
So many benefits. The confidence that when we started at this school to what I've seen now is just unbelievable. You know, my husband and I both said just seeing that growth in 2 short years that we probably wouldn't have seen because of that confidence from those smaller classes, from the hands-on, from the partnership parenting. Just to summarize, everything has just helped him blossom tremendously, you know. So in a short sentence, just like I said, just really the best of both worlds. So